Hello and welcome to Laker Connections. Tonight is a very special episode as it is our last one of the semester and my co-host Jake Vanderbrook's last show of his collegiate career. Tonight is also our special Whiteout edition as Whiteout Weekend featuring the much anticipated game against the Plattsburgh Cardinals is just 2 days away. But first, Jake, how did the men's team fare against Brockport last weekend?
Well, Brandon, the men's hockey team took on the Brockport Golden Eagles in their annual Teddy Bear Toss night. Josh Isaac would score the goal to start the toss just 4.5 minutes into the first. Broman and Emerson would both score on the power play in the first. The captain, Devin Campbell, would tack on another goal in the second period and scoring his first collegiate goal of his career. Molinaro would score on the power play again in the third, capping off 3 power play goal night for the Lakers and a 5-2 win over Brockport.
The men would then travel to Geneseo to play their second game in less than 24 hours. They may have stayed in the same time zone, but the offense seemed jet-lagged and forgot to show up. The Lakers had only 17 shots and allowed a goal in every period, with 2 off the power play. Oswego would lay a goose egg, losing 3-0 and was shut out for the first time this season. This also marked Oswego's second SUNYAC loss of the season, something that didn't happen until the last game of the season last year.
Switching over to the women's team, the Lakers looked to keep their winning ways going, but they had to take on number 2 ranked Plattsburgh at the Marano Campus Center. The Lakers' offense was stale for the first 40 minutes, shooting only 7 times on net. However, the Cardinals had steady offense in the first 2 periods, shooting 34 times and scoring 4 goals, 2 in the first and 2 in the second. The Lakers would shoot 15 times in the third, but all 15 would be fended off by Cassie Abbott, and the Lakers would be handed their first loss of the season 4-0.
After being shut out the day before, the Lakers would hit the ice again in hopes of redeeming themselves against the Cardinals. The Lakers started off hot as a goal by Annika Neufeld-Kreider in the first 90 seconds, but after that the Lakers stalled out. The Cardinals would score in the power play just a minute before the period ended. Then just 15 seconds off the faceoff, the Cardinals scored again. They scored 3 more times in the second period and another in the third to cap off an impressive 6-1 win over the Lakers and a 10-goal weekend.
Switching over to some basketball now, the men's basketball team would also take the court for a home weekend and started off against Geneseo. Joe Sullivan didn't have the best night from the field, but did go 9 of 11 from the line and totaled 21 points on the night, accompanied by 10 rebounds. Brandon Garland and Liam Sanborn would both put 13 points on the board, and Tyler Pierre would get another double-double, scoring 12 points and 10 rebounds. Although Zach Pembianco of Geneseo scored 31 on the night, it wouldn't be enough as the Lakers would pull out the win by a score of 68-58.
After the double-digit win the night before, the men hit the court again to take on Brockport. No one had an outstanding night, but all 5 starters scored at least 10, including Tyler Pierre, who was perfect from the field and from the free throw line. The Lakers won the game by going 22 of 29 from the free throw line, while the Golden Eagles went an embarrassing 13 of 32. The extra work came from freshman Julian Crittenden off the bench, who scored the team-high 14 points. The Lakers won by a score of 73-63 and remain undefeated on the season.
Switching over to the women's team, the Geneseo Knights were just too much to handle as the Lakers lost by a score of 74-48. Throughout the contest, Oswego State couldn't get much going offensively as they turned the ball over 23 times. The only spark for Oswego was Ramatule C, who led the team in the scoring department with 19 points.
And the women would finish off their home doubleheader against Brockport. The game was close as the Lakers were only down 5 at half, but the Lakers shot 2 of 19 from 3, while the Golden Eagles went 5 of 13 from long range. That would be the difference, along with the Lakers scoring just 19 second-half points, as the Lakers would lose 57-43.
All right, when we come back, we will have our new athletes of the week, and then we're going to be switching back to some hockey. Don't go away. You're watching Laker Connections on WTOP 10.
What would happen if If I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors, what would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Welcome back to Laker Connections. Each week, students are chosen by the Oswego State Athletics Department as Athletes of the Week. This week, the award was given to Tyler Pierre of men's basketball and Yama Ramos for women's track and field. Pierre was a key asset in the Lakers' 3 wins last week. The senior was a big asset to the team as he recorded a season high of 18 points and 15 rebounds on Tuesday in the victory over Nazareth. He picked up another double-double in Friday night's win over Geneseo with his 12 points and 10 boards. And the Deer native, he was able to currently rank number 1 in the SUNYAC in field goal percentage. But then switching over to the women's track, you got Yana Ramos ran away with the win and posted a career best time of 19 minutes and 47 seconds during the 5,000-meter run in Saturday's Brockport Gold versus Green Alumni Invitational. She picked up the win convincingly by over 5 seconds to the runner-up. What went for Brockport? But now let's switch it over to men's hockey. Last weekend when they faced Brockport and Geneseo, what went right, but then what went wrong?
When they won at Brockport, they were first off at home, really helped them. Seemed like they were feeding off the energy, worked out really well. We're getting good shots on and also scored in the power play as well. The next day, they had a few chances on the power play, couldn't score, and then only got 17 shots. As soon as you're shooting 17 shots, you're not even able to average 6 a period. There's something definitely going wrong there. And they were trying to be cute, trying to hold the puck a little bit, and they've done that in a few games before in seasons back. So they definitely need to work on getting shots on. Even if they aren't the best ones, they can't keep waiting for the perfect shot. You have to get those sub-perfect shots, but maybe a rebound helps you score later on.
Now this weekend, they are facing Potsdam and Plattsburgh Friday and Saturday. Now, Brandon, is this must-win weekend for the Lakers?
I want to say Potsdam, not so much, but that's an easy team that you definitely should win. Yeah. Plattsburgh is a must-win game right now. You lost 2, like I said before. The Lakers hadn't lost 2 games since their last game against Plattsburgh when they fell off against Potsdam and Plattsburgh. So this is definitely a time where you have to show that your offense isn't bad against these teams, because you scored 0 goals in those games, both against Plattsburgh and Potsdam last year. So this is a time where you have to turn it around, show you can beat Plattsburgh at home, and these, like I said, Plattsburgh game, a must win.
Yeah, and what I would do if I'm Ed Gosick, Friday, you're facing Potsdam. They're not that great of a team to begin with, and especially when it comes to SUNYAC play, I would start Cedric Hansen. Why? I feel like Cedric Hansen will be capable of taking care of business. He may give up a few goals against Potsdam, but I think the Oswego Lakers will take care of business. Why? Now, to get set for David Richey for the big game of the season for this Oswego State Lakers squad, as they're going to be taken up against Plattsburgh. I feel like this is a system that you have to go. What we saw last week when they faced Brockport, Richey was in there, and honestly, when I was calling that game, I was really questioning it. Brockport's not a bad team, but I feel like if you put Cedric Hansen in the net in that I feel like they would have been fine to begin with. And then David Richey was just too tired against Geneseo as he gave up 3 goals in the contest. Wouldn't you agree, Brandon?
Oh, 100%. Cedric Hansen should be in that position this Friday night. If they don't put him in there, then there was definitely a loss in communication somewhere, because Cedric Hansen, like you said, he's 2-0 right now, and of the 2-0, he's only allowed 3 goals in those 2 games. So definitely a guy that I would like to see Friday.
All right, but when we come back, WNYO men's hockey announcer Cole Parzik will be joining us to give us some more whiteout analysis. Stay tuned. You're watching the season finale of Laker Connections on WTOP 10.
Preventing wildfires. That's all Smokey wants for his 70th birthday.
Want to watch a movie? Go to WTOP10.com and select Movies on Demand. You can find some of your old favorites and some new ones too. And it's free on campus. Watch and enjoy.
Hi, I'm Anthony Citron, and for one view a day, you can help producers at WTOP get the recognition they deserve for their work. For just 30 minutes a day, you can help these students make sure their work does not go unnoticed. Please, click the link below and help these students get the recognition they deserve. All it takes is one view a day.
Back to Laker Connections. I'm now joined by Cole Parzik, who will be giving us a little preview analysis of Whiteout Weekend. Cole, thank you for joining us, my man.
No problem. Sorry I'm not in my usual get-up here. I just had women's ice hockey practice, a little 3-on-3 tournament, and I like to say I still got it.
All right, let's get down to business here, Cole. Now, we know that this year's team has a lot of depth. So who do you think we'll see starting, and who's going to be scratched?
I think right now is the perfect opportunity for Gosick and Digby to have some wholesale changes in the lineup, because over the last couple of weeks they've just seemed to be a little flat. I mean, that's the only way you can put it. Obviously, you don't get any goals on the road against Geneseo. They're going up against a good defense with 4 former D1 defenders, and then obviously Devin McDonald is playing like he's the best goaltender in the SUNYAC right now. But I think they could have some wholesale changes, and a couple of guys I think could come out of the lineup. One is Aaron Huffnagel. I think he's a tougher guy to take out because he is a power play staple on the wing. He's got 4 points in 7 games. All of those points are primary points, so he's either scoring directly or he's having an assist that leads to a goal. So 1 goal, 3 assists for him. But last weekend, just 2 shot attempts all weekend, none on net, and none were from the first tier. And talking to the coaching staff, what they track for that first tier is basically just inside the circles, inside the dots, and then down to the crease. The way they showed me, it's more of a circular oval. I get an oval, right. That's the right shape, yeah, around the slot. But a lot of people will say the home plate area. So if you think of that, you think of above the circles, down to the crease. Huffnagel, not a sniff in that area. And then Tanner Smink is another guy. He's got 3 primary points, a goal and 2 assists. He had all 3 of his points, in those first 3 games. So he's been dry the last 4. And he's a guy who I think is consistent. He'll, put up a shot attempt or so a game. He'll help the guy out with a primary shot assist. But, overall, I think he's a guy maybe you could take out. Only a sophomore in this lineup right now. I know there's a lot of upperclassmen and, transfers like Josh Nenadal. He's a senior transfer, so can you take him out of the lineup? Who knows? And then a guy I was thinking about maybe a couple weekends ago you could take out is Jody Sullivan. But from what I've seen the last 4 games from him, his defense is far too valuable. Last weekend he played with Canberry, and again, like I just mentioned, Josh Nenadal. He's a guy who I don't think you can take out because he's just so good defensively. 2 weekends ago against Hobart, Coach Digby told me that he thought that line with Sullivan, Kirkby, and Josh Nenadal were the best line they had. I don't think he can take them out.
All right, so let's talk about the goalie situation. Last week we saw David Richey play in both contests against Brockport and Geneseo. But are we going to see that same result, or are we going to see some action from Cedric Hansen, do you think?
You guys mentioned it in the segment before I came on. I think Hansen could go Friday. He would be playing the weaker team. I don't want to say he's the weaker goaltender, but what the coaching staff tells me every single week, and when I ask them, I have to ask the question because it's just basically necessary at this point in the Lakers season. What's their plan? Usually it's David Richey, and then they'll say, we'll see what goes on Friday, how he's feeling Saturday morning, what the results were, and they'll go from there. If they say that same thing with Hansen on Friday, I think that gives me more feeling that there are going to be a lot of lineup changes Saturday as well. But who knows? I think they always play it on a 1-game basis. But I would like to see Hansen in. You keep him in the rotation, and you don't have him basically sitting stagnant when they have a couple weeks off over breakdown.
All right, for sure. But how well do the Lakers match up with Potsdam and their arch rivals, Plattsburgh? We can start with Potsdam. Overall, all-time against Oswego State, Lakers own a 69-29-2 record against the Bears, and right now they're just 1-4 in the SUNYAC. They don't have a lot of guys that have scoring depth throughout their lineup, and then Nate Skidmore, who's their main goalie, he's playing at about replacement level right now, so they don't have anything spectacular. I think the Lakers should be able to take that game very easily, but as we all know, last time out, Lakers got shut out against the Potsdam Bears, so you never know about that. And then looking at Plattsburgh, they're 1-4-0 in their last 5, but they're 4-2-1 in the SUNYAC. And they have an aggressive penalty kill similar to Oswego State. They scored a couple penalty kill goals on the penalty kill this year, an 89.7% success rate on the penalty kill. And then also you got Jimmy Parita back there, who's got the second best save percentage in the SUNYAC, and a lot of upperclassmen who just have more experience after they had a tough time last year. So I think they have everything going for them right now. They're in the midst of a slump, but it's the perfect place, the MCC, to break that slump. Right. Now, really quick, Cole, what are your predictions for this whiteout weekend?
I think it's going to be a 3-2 game. Both teams are around there statistically, and that's usually how hockey works out, 1-goal game or so. Don't know who's going to be able to take home this one, but Oswego State has not won a whiteout game since February 7th, 2012. I can't give you an answer at this point, but I had to stick with the Lakers.
All right, thank you, Cole. Really appreciate it. But when we come back, we have one more Lakers showdown as Brandon and Oswegonian sports editor Ben Greco will be joining me at the desk, while Matt Watling will be our moderator. Plus, I will be saying goodbye to the second home that will always be in my heart. We'll be right back.
Wake up. It's Rise and Shine time. James, Rise and Shine. James, wake up. We're starting the show.
Good morning and welcome back to Rise and Shine at 9. I'm James Gattato here with your next
update. A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year, 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 68. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
If you think trains will stop if they see a car on the tracks, you're right. They will. About a mile after they hit you. trades can't.
Welcome back to the season finale of Laker Connections. I'm tonight's moderator, Matt Watling, and now it's time for our last Laker showdown of 2018.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
It is sad. It is sad.
That's facts, man.
Now, which player is going to make the biggest impact on this game from either team?
I got to go for David O'Shea. I know Cole was just talking about him. I don't care what game he plays.
A goalie?
A goalie.
Okay.
So here's the thing. With this team, offensive players have come in and out of the game. Defensive players have come in and out of the game. They've been kind of, not saying they're inconsistent, but the scoring has been by committee. No one is really jumping out there. So your best player has got to be your goaltender. And I think David O'Shea is going to be that best player. And he's the one that stops the shots on the penalty kill. He stops any potential shorthanded opportunities. He's out there and even strength.
You're right, Ben. You're right.
He's not right, but go.
No. The position is right. However, you have to look at Jimmy Parita, all right? That is exactly who it needs to be. Roche only saw 10 shots left.
All season.
Exactly. So who's going to have the biggest impact in the game is this man who has a he has a 946 save percentage right now.
But now David Roche needs to step it up to be the impact player. Parita, we already expected.
No.
So that's why he's going to be the impact, because you know he's going to play great.
Logistically here, because it's going to be coming from the second or third line. We don't see the lines yet, but it's going to be Travis Broman. He is going to be the X factor in this one. 4 goals, 4 assists. Leading the team in points. Look out for this man. That's all I gotta say.
Tied for the lead in points.
David Roche,
you can't say David Roche because he saw 10 shots last year. If anything, it would be the defensive Oswego that helped him, and he let one in. Jimmy Parita saw 35 shots last year. What is it?
Just because Parita's been there and been successful, you can't say that takes him out of the equation. So I gotta go with Brandon here.
Let's
Jimmy
go.
Parita lights out goaltending.
Wait.
Second best in the SUNYAC. So Brandon gets the point here. And now, complete the sentence. Oswego State will defeat Plattsburgh if
they shoot the puck.
Okay, here.
They shoot the puck.
I'm going to take Jake's here.
They shoot the puck.
I'm going to take Jake's impact player because this is my answer. Travis Broman. Now listen to this.
If Travis Broman, that's not a real sentence.
If Travis Broman registers a point.
Okay.
Okay, every game that he's registered a point, Oswego State has won. Now, the games that they lost, they didn't register a point against Fredonia, and obviously didn't register a point in the 3-0 shutout loss to Geneseo. So every time Travis Broman registers a point, they've won. So as soon as he scores or gets that assist, the team's fired up and ready to go.
Well, guess what? I don't care. He's a freshman. Go for it, Jake.
You took a player out of my playbook. I'm going to take one out of yours. I'm going to go with David Roche, but it's going to be because of this. If he sits on Friday, and if he plays on Saturday, he'll be very effective. Because when I saw the film against Geneseo, he just did not look comfortable in the net.
I could see him sitting Friday.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I still got to go with Broman. Because he's going to be there in all 60 minutes.
It's not going to matter on both sides. Yes, Travis Broman needs to score, but the entire team needs to shoot. We already saw in the 2 games this year, they've shot under 25 shots in both those losses. In every other game that they've won, they've shot over 20. They've shot 27 or above. If they shoot the puck and put good shots on,
it's going to be very important.
Travis Broman is going to shoot the puck, but everyone needs to shoot and score.
Okay, Brandon, you're right. They need to shoot the puck, but the reason they weren't getting shots in those losses is because they were getting outplayed. They didn't have the puck long enough to get those shots. So your point, it works, but
who gets the puck?
Ben, you get it. Travis Broman, very impressive, and for me, Riche, he's used to playing back-to-back nights. Finally, will Coach Gosick use his 19th skater as an additional forward or defenseman?
You got to use it as a forward because here's the situation. What we saw against Brockport, they used their extra skater on Joshua Blanc. And don't get me wrong, statistically, he's not putting up the numbers. I do understand. So
I like your generalization. I like putting it as a freshman. But I want a defensive forward or an offensive-minded defenseman. I'm gonna take a little bit of both. I'd love to see Tyler Antonucci or Ryan Bunka. Both players haven't registered a point this season. Don't mind that. But they've been a very physical presence.
You're saying LeBlanc isn't physical?
No, I'm not saying that.
Because here's the thing.
I can add in LeBlanc, but here's the thing, though. When you have 2 freshmen, 4 defensive offensively minded defensemen who scored 10 goals last season each in juniors and almost had 40-point seasons.
Can I at least get a point in here?
Especially in a game like this.
It doesn't. That's not. It has to be an offensive player and a forward for two different reasons. One, obviously, they're not playing well and scoring in their last few, so they need to find a way to score.
You need to think about this, though.
Secondly,
how much are they on the ice?
Tyler Antonucci is -3 right now. He's not playing well, and so is Brun. Brun is not playing well.
All right. Plus, minus. When you're -3, it doesn't matter.
Got him.
But Ben, you answer for both sides. You can't pick two sides of a debate. You get one.
I said.
You said offensively-minded defenseman,
which is Antonucci.
Okay,
which is Antonucci who hasn't been playing well.
Vanderbroek gets it. Come on. What are you doing? There's no second chance.
Who won it?
Debate.
Who won it?
Now, I said Jake got it.
Jake got it?
It's
Okay,
all
I didn't hear
tied.
it. Sorry.
We're going to settle this with some trivia. And we're going to
Okay.
start off with what would the Plattsburgh fans throw onto the ice during their home games back in the day?
Tennis balls.
Tennis balls.
Yeah. All right, everyone got it.
All right, well, I got the results right here in my pocket.
Okay.
I mean, if we all said it.
Yeah, if we all said
tennis
it.
balls, come on.
Tennis balls are right. Good job, guys.
Got it.
Good job.
Okay, cool.
Second, what did Oswego fans throw onto the ice?
Bagels.
I think Jay got that first.
Okay, but we all got it.
We all knew it. Yeah, okay, continue.
When was the last time the Lakers defeated Plattsburgh at home?
You got
2007,
2012, that's when we thought the world
yes.
was going to end.
But not for another few months, but yes. That was the start of it.
Maybe that's an omen there. Maybe
that was exactly it.
I forgot about Y2K.
Finally, what is the Lakers' overall record against the Cardinals?
They had 38 wins.
38, 79, and 4.
78, 30.
Or it's pretty damn close.
78,
No,
36,
like
and 6.
70, yeah.
38, 79,
High
and 4.
70s, but definitely a 4
78,
draws.
36, and 6.
No, they're 39, 78, and 8. So
Can I get
I
you
did
get the
Plattsburgh's
prices right. You got the prices right.
I did Plattsburgh.
I got the prices right.
But
hey, that's
the end of the
put me
debate
on
is here.
Put me on, Drew.
You guys
Carey.
all did great. But in terms of the secondary things, you guys all pretty much tied. In terms of secondary things, in terms of the quality of the points, I got to give it to Jake. So Jake
the
wins
final
it.
show. All right. I won't throw the paper. He did well today. I'll give it to him. Jake, great win to end the season.
Great, yeah.
Well, as it is your end of the season, how about you give a little words to the people, words about this season?
Man, oh man.
Tug on the heartstrings for me, Jake. Tug on the heartstrings.
When it all first began, I was moderating. I had a lot of fun with the show. Brittany Cairns, who is our producer, asked me to come back, and I was so happy that I was able to for the final, for my final semester. And man, oh man, I can't thank her enough. What a wonderful job that she has done week in, week out, getting the crew in. I also would like to thank the crew that has been stepping in, and for some that have been substituting. I know.
At 10:30. That's
10:30 to 11.
10:30 at night.
We missed
Greatly
late night
appreciate
too.
everyone getting the graphics and stuff like that all in, the videos. Greatly appreciated once again. Man, oh man, I have had quite the semester being busy here at TOP, and I can't thank everyone enough. Ben Greco with the Oswegonian, man, oh man, teaching me how to write that AP style.
It sucks, I know. It sucks.
It does suck, but when you get used to it, you get...
Well, thanks for teaching me broadcast talking. You know?
You got it.
You got to give credit to Watling. He was looking like a little.
Yeah, I'm the assistant. Where's my love?
Watling, thanks for Watstar. Thanks for always being the man, as Mike Morano would
Thanks
always
for
call
being my
that.
assistant. Thanks for helping Jake out when I wasn't available.
Yeah,
all the time.
Watling, it's always greatly appreciated, and been very blessed, and I'm looking forward to what is going to be coming with me for the future.
Tampa Bay, right? That's what I heard.
I hope.
I'm hoping.
We'll see.
I got a place to visit.
Love to see it. Well, Jake, how about you close it out for us on your last show?
Man, oh man.
Man, oh man. I love the saying.
Have
That's
been
first off.
watching Laker Connections on WTOP 10. So long.
Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, helping solve child hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.